Welcome back to New Rockstars. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is confirmed as the title for the second Black Panther film coming next year, giving us our first insight into how director Ryan Coogler will address the loss of Chadwick Boseman. So who will be the next Black Panther, we're now asking? Well, this is Inside Marvel. I'm Erik Voss. I'm here with MT. What was your reaction to seeing that title reveal, MT?
Oh man, I screamed. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting this. But like, yeah, it was, I'm so excited to finally get to see how Marvel Studios is going to handle such a loss, a massive loss to not only just the MCU, but acting in general. Like Chadwick Boseman was a force. So yeah, I'm hyped. Like, how did you feel?
Oh, I mean, you could see my reaction.
Oh, yeah, I saw your reaction.
I mean, I was blown away. That should have been like the main headline coming out of that. So they should just titled the whole reel. This is a whole separate video just from Marvel. Like, this is our, because that is the headline for me. So here's the deal, folks. In these weeks leading up to Loki, MT and I are going to be here every Friday doing a sort of MCU Phase 4 preview. And we're going to do our best to answer your biggest questions coming about the next big upcoming Marvel titles. And yeah, this week, really the biggest news came from that. Marvel celebrates the movie sizzle reel, revealing Black Panther 2's title is gonna be Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever, such a great title. And in our gratitude and our excitement and our enjoyment of this, we're gonna ask a special WTF, Wakanda the but this isn't a cynical WTF. Oh, no. This is like a, oh my god, WTF with Wakanda the fuck, Wakanda the fuck.
Like, we're getting Wakanda Forever? What?
Forever. So yeah, MT and I actually have some theories about Wakanda Forever and what that might mean, what they're actually telling us about who the next Black Panther is going to be. But before we continue, we want to say over at newrockstarsmerch.com, we are doing a special week of May the 4th Star Wars inspired shirts. We actually still have some of our Zemo Puppet Master design left. Those are going quick. But yeah, you got to check out these Star Wars designs. Go over to newrockstarsmerch.com and there you can find all the other cool merch options we have, like this goofy Hi, I'm Erik Voss shirt that we sell, even though there's probably maybe 6 Erik Vosses out there and none of them are fans of me.
We're all Erik Voss on the inside if we believe hard enough.
Yep. All right, MT, let's dive right into it.
Our first Wakanda the of the day is Wakanda the does the title Wakanda Forever tell us about who will be the next Black Panther, Erik?
Yes, great question. Now, first things first, it has been confirmed that Marvel Studios does not plan to recast the role of T'Challa, and they're not going to use VFX to weirdly animate the character the way Star Wars did with Carrie Fisher, right? So neither of those options are happening. Now, a lot of people did want there to be a recasting. I disagreed with that move, and so did Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige and Chadwick Boseman's family. They all felt that the best way to honor Boseman's legacy was to not erase his performance by casting a new T'Challa and not put this impossible burden on whoever that new actor would be to live up to that expectations to those standards. I'm sorry, that's just not the way we should go. Instead, it seems like Coogler's taken the path of embracing the message of his first film, of sharing power, sharing responsibility among all Wakandans to carry that legacy with all the heroes that T'Challa inspired in the world. Because, yeah, this was never about one person. It was about the family, the tribe, the nation, the world. Right, MT?
Yes. Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like Black Panther, it's not always about Black Panther. It's all about the story of Wakanda. And that's what makes the Black Panther character so interesting. Right. So having this Wakanda Forever title, it makes me more excited than than a Black Panther 2 would, because it's just like, now we're going to get to see like what Wakanda looks like and what potentially what it like the history of Wakanda, all that stuff. And like it seems like it's going to be a celebration of Wakanda and Black people in general, but also obviously T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, and because of COVID, we hadn't really given him the proper tribute that I feel was worthy of a man and an actor of his that has affected so many people. So Wakanda Forever is going to be that moment where everyone, is back in the theater as Marvel Studios wants you to get hype about, and like just be like, yes, this is it. This is we're celebrating this amazing man.
Let's remind ourselves of what the words Wakanda Forever mean to the MCU. Of course, it's the famous rallying war cry of the Wakandans. It was spoken 3 times in the first Black Panther film. First, it was by T'Challa right after his victory at Warrior Falls over M'Baku, really to symbolize his unifying the tribes of Wakanda under his throne.
Wakanda Forever! Wakanda Forever!
And then second time by a Dora Milaje guard, really her final words spoken to Okoye as Killmonger was about to slit her throat. And it was really to show her loyalty to Wakanda and to T'Challa, not to Killmonger, who usurped that throne.
Wakanda forever.
And third by Nakia, suited up in her Dora Milaje armor as she charged Killmonger.
Wakanda forever!
So those were the 3 times in Black Panther, but for many people, it was most memorably spoken by T'Challa when he brought the words back in Avengers Infinity War during the Battle of Wakanda, really his charge of his forces combined with M'Baku's Jabari tribe as together they faced the army of Thanos on the fields of Wakanda.
Wakanda forever!
Wakanda forever!
Yeah, it was such a great moment. I mean, the whole crowd erupted when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget that. So really, if you think about it, Wakanda Forever is a phrase shared by all Wakandans. It was spoken by T'Challa to share a sense of common patriotism with his Wakandan family. And this tells us that the second Black Panther film could really be a story about Wakanda as a society, not just a person who wears the Black Panther suit. But however, let's also remember Wakanda Forever is also a phrase associated with 3 characters in T'Challa's orbit: Nakia, Okoye, and M'Baku. And I believe these 3 are really our top candidates for successor of the Black Panther mantle. Now, yes, Shuri's name has been floated, and of course, we can all see a future in which Shuri dons that suit. But MT, I want to know what you think about this. For me, not yet. Just because right now, I think she's more valuable as the genius engineer and comic relief of this franchise, as opposed to the stoic warrior who wears it herself. I think it would take away everything we like about her right now to just force her into that role. I think over time she'll get there, though.
Yeah, no, I think exactly that. I think that in order for us to really see, a Shuri Black Panther, I think she has to earn it. I think we have to see her go through that training of all right, maybe I'm not Black Panther now, but I'm not gonna, punch real good, do some, push-ups and all that stuff, and really get into the Black Panther training and all that stuff, so she could be ready to potentially take the mantle. But to just do it right away and just be all right, now Shuri's the Black Panther now, it really wouldn't make sense for where Shuri is currently at the moment.
Right.
So, I think that, like you said, Nakia, Okoye, and M'Baku are amazing candidates and probably the 3 most likely to carry on the mantle.
Now, it was Nakia actress Lupita Nyong'o, who of these 3, let's face it, is the biggest star. She's won an Oscar. All 3 of them are great, though. And I would say Denai Guerrera and Winston Duke definitely had more action in their roles that they played. But yeah, it was Lupita Nyong'o who spoke most recently about what Coogler's plan was. She said, quote, Coogler's idea, the way in which she has reshaped the second movie, is so respectful of the loss we've all experienced as a cast and as a world, so it feels spiritually and emotionally correct to do this. And hopefully what I do look forward to is getting back together and honoring what Chadwick started with us and holding his light through it, because he left us with a lot of light that we're still going to be bathing in. God, what a great quote. Yeah.
That's such a good quote.
One thing I want us all to remember is that in that first Black Panther film is how important color was to Ryan Coogler in all definitions of that word. But specifically his costume choices. And he worked with designer Ruth E. Carter, who is amazing. She won one of the film's Oscars for her work on this film. And really, there was this one choice that Carter and Coogler made about the way they would dress 3 characters, T'Challa, Okoye, and Nakia, in black and red and green, the colors of the Pan-African flag.
Yes.
Such a great moment when they're walking through Korea, right?
Yeah.
So here's my theory. I think the mantle of Black Panther will succeed from one hero, T'Challa, to a team of 3 heroes.
Oh.
And their armor color schemes are going to reflect those 3 colors.
Okay.
Nakia in green, Okoye and Dora Milaje red, and M'Baku, the runner-up to T'Challa at Warrior Falls, who later joined his rival in defending Wakanda against Thanos, M'Baku, in black. And I believe that Shuri will have designed these 3 suits so that they only work when the 3 are working together.
Oh.
So that way, the will of T'Challa and the light of Chadwick could live on in the most emotionally resonant way, really giving new meaning to Wakanda Forever.
Bro, I love that so much. That's such a good idea. 3 Black Panthers, or what? Oh man, that is such a fun way to tackle that. I love it. I love it.
It's a shared identity, and that doesn't mean a bright green suit. It could be like black just with green accents in it. It could be black with red accents in it,
Yeah.
and then black with purple accents in it. And really, it gives any of the three a chance to take over the mantle for a Black Panther 3.
Yeah.
Or none of them, and then we just completely wipe the slate clean, and then we bring in a new person, Shuri, or a child, or someone who steps into it. But I think for right now, we shouldn't give that burden to one individual. We should share it to three individuals who have to work together. I think that's what Shuri would want, and it would empower her to continue to make sure her brother's will is carried on.
Yeah, oh man, that would be so tight to see. And like, honestly, in my head, like, because I'm like a huge nerd, I'm like, that would make a great video game. Like, it'd be so fun.
For sure,
just play as three of them and like just fight everyone. But like, no, that would be such a really unique take on the Black Panther mantle. And it would it would be so interesting to see how the people of Wakanda respond to something like this, because there's always been traditionally one Black Panther title. So for it to go from 1 to 3, it would just be so interesting to see if people would reject that. Or,
and no matter what you do, it's going to be controversial with some fans, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's going to be people who say the only way to honor Chadwick Boseman is to recast and keep the character alive. There's going to be people who are in one specific camp. It says it has to be Shuri, or it has to be Okoye, it has to be M'Baku. I don't want them to forget about M'Baku. That's my fear, is that he'll just be regulated to this rival who always stays up in the mountains. But he's such a cool character. Winston Duke's such a good actor. He and Letitia Wright went to college together, and they're really good friends. So for them to be able to build that chemistry together, for all these actors to continue to have to work together, I think is amazing. And I hope that's... I'm not saying Ryan Coogler has to do this. It's his movie. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not going to gatekeep this.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
You got to do this, Ryan.
Yeah. I just think that's the safest way forward. That way you can satisfy everybody, I think.
I think that's a really great idea, man. Like, I am all for this. Though I do have an idea of what Wakanda Forever could end up becoming. I mean, we could, because Wakanda's been around for so long, we could just see, like, Wakanda, the history of Wakanda, or like the different Black Panthers throughout the years.
Oh,
and
go back.
Maybe, potentially, because we're getting time travel shenanigans, what if we get like a past Black Panther, like as the new Black Panther? It's like Bashenga. It's like, I'm here again, and I'm in the future. Oh,
nice.
Kind of like a reverse Captain America type deal. It's like, oh, now I'm in the future, and like, this is really weird.
You wouldn't even need time travel just to go do a period piece of like T'Chaka's story. You only need to go one generation back. I mean, that would be dope. I would love to see like the history, the early days of past Black Panthers, and that way you wouldn't have to worry about the present battles. You could just tell.
Just do it, just a different time period story. It would be super dope. But like, just because like, I don't think that would happen if we were just doing that story, because it's called Wakanda Forever. So like, we're probably going to get like a more like Wakanda focused, like, I don't know, modern story. But like, man, it would be really cool to see like, have it be like almost like an anthology thing where it's like, all right, here's the first Black Panther. Here's like the 16th Black Panther Abraham Lincoln.
And what you're tapping into, MT, is, I think, like, we've been talking about who the legacy character of Black Panther is going to be, who the title is going to go to, which I think is the question on everyone's mind. But really, the title Wakanda Forever makes me think this is going to be a story about a setting, about a country, about a society, and there are a lot of questions we have about the country of Wakanda and its history and its role in the world now as really like the world superpower. They have the most advanced everything, and I think it's a fascinating culture. That was my favorite thing about the Black Panther film. It also won an Oscar for its production design and just the world of it. Like, beautiful. They have the Avengers campus at Disneyland. I want them to make a Wakanda. I want to visit a Wakanda, walk the streets of Wakanda.
Oh my God.
Sounds amazing.
It would be so fire. It would make so much money if they did that.
So much money.
Oh my God. Why haven't they done that? SMH.
It's maybe they're waiting, but yeah, either way, I think that this next movie is gonna explore the society structure of Wakanda and its role in history, because kind of like the Eternals, this is a group of advanced folks who have been around for a while but have decided to stay out of certain battles and not fight every battle. So yeah, I want to see those debates happen. Like, why did they decide to stay out of certain battles? Who made those decisions? What were the debates behind the scenes? What were the wars fought behind the scenes?
Yes.
And what were things that they did intervene in that the rest of the world just didn't know about because they fixed the problem?
There's a lot of, there's so many different opportunities, and like there's so much potential for this series for it to be just like completely game changing, or like just like you said, like revealing like secret parts of how Wakanda has been secretly shaping the world.
Ryan Coogler is the guy to do this. Like, he fully understands the Ta-Nehisi Coates approach of like the Afrofuturist revision of like this character, and the forward-looking kind of sci-fi approach that still embraces the racial roots of the character. Coogler gets it. I mean, I'm so excited to see what this guy comes up with.
Like, Coogler was the best man for the job for Black Panther 1, and like he's gonna kick ass in this new sequel. So
we're gonna talk more. We have more questions, obviously, that we're gonna address about this film. But before we continue, big thanks from our sponsor, Manscaped. Big announcement: the Manscaped engineering team has created the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, and it is available in the USA and Canada. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer: 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code MARVEL at manscaped.com. The craftsmanship and details on the 4.0 are next level. Their advanced ceramic blade and skin-safe technology are both so good. It's kind of like Stark Industries decided to get into the pube trimming biz. It's not that far outside the realm of possibility. Tony did have a very manicured goatee, so you can only imagine what, don't imagine that. I'm sorry. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a travel lock, a 4000K LED spotlight, and it allows you to customize your trim with 4 guard lengths. The optimized Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is waterproof, so you can groom in the shower, and it's got wireless charging. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code MARVEL at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Trademark. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MARVEL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code MARVEL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. We also want to thank our friends at Helix Sleep for sponsoring this episode. Whether you're bunking up in Wakanda or Wisconsin, you want to be sleeping on a mattress designed to fit you and your body. Helix Sleep has a quiz that matches your body type and your sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattresses great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Even a Helix Plus mattress for plus size sleepers. I took the quiz and got matched with the Dusk Luxe Helix mattress because I wanted a medium firm mattress with lumbar support that sleeps cool. I sleep so good on my Helix mattress. The mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free, and you never need to go to a mattress store again. They were awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/InsideMarvel for their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they will match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our audience at helixsleep.com/InsideMarvel. That's helixsleep.com/InsideMarvel for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. And we want to thank our friends at Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode. So, Blue Chew has a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no doctor's office or pharmacy trips. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you receive your prescription within days. Their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength. And if you hate swallowing pills, good news, Blue Chew is chewable, just like it says in the name. So if you could benefit from some extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we've got a special deal for our audience. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code InsideMarvel at checkout. Just pay the $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code InsideMarvel to receive your first month for free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this show. All right, MT, let's move on to our next WTF here. Do you think Bucky could appear in Black Panther Wakanda Forever as the White Wolf?
That's a really good question. I think yes.
Yeah.
Just because of that last line that Io gives Bucky at the end of Falcon the Winter, well, at the end of her appearance in Falcon the Winter Soldier, she was like, just stay scarce. Don't come back to Wakanda. And because Bucky has presumably played a big role in Wakandan society during that time, between the I'm sorry, why am I blanking? Civil War and Infinity War. You know, it makes sense for him to come back just to at least check up on people, and then for them to probably enlist his help because of the passing of their Black Panther. I'm assuming that T'Challa's dead in the MCU. So they might ask him for his help. Or he might show up at the funeral. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, T'Challa did so much for him. So, you know, he's got to show up then. But, like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's going to show up?
Yeah, I do. I at least hope he does, because as you've been saying, MT, I feel like they've set up all this stuff. And then what other story will it be if not in this one? And a title like Wakanda Forever just gets, like, my brain worrying into thinking, like, this is a battle for the existence of Wakanda itself. Because if you think how the first movie ended, it was kind of this fear of, like, we're opening up our existence to the world, we're addressing the UN, they know about us now. And then that immediately led to Infinity War. The stakes of that were, okay, now the Avengers know to hide Vision here, and Thanos knows where we are, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the fear now is that there are going to be other rival nations who want what Wakanda has. Whether that's the United States, whether that's nations like Latveria or Atlantis, you know, I want to see the map expanding, and I think it's gonna be all hands on deck to defend Wakanda now. And they're gonna need everybody. They're gonna need their full Dora Milaje. All the tribes are gonna have to unite, and I think they're gonna need their White Wolf and the War Dogs. You know.
Yeah, I think that's the people are definitely going to have their sights on Wakanda now, especially after T'Challa's announcement at the end of the Black Panther 1. It's just inevitable. And it's something that the Wakandan nation has dealt with throughout its entire history in the comics. Like, people that find out that Wakanda is the Shangri-La of just like of money, potential money with vibranium, like they just try to get it. We see it with Claw, we see it with you know, in the early days of Wakanda, like they've surprised a lot of would-be conquerors with their high-tech solutions, like way back in the day. And it's so cool to see them kick ass, like futuristic like that.
No, but I think in addition to Bucky, it'd be great to see, you know, some other Avengers show up. It doesn't have to be their story, but MT and I have this like hope that Steve Rogers, old man Steve Rogers, could be retired somewhere in Wakanda and just
he has like a Hawaiian shirt, just being a major, just old man tourist. Like, oh, this is mighty nice. Wow.
He's like petting the rhino. He's like, "Are you Peggy?" And they're like, "No, Steve, that's not Peggy." He's like, "I think it's Peggy."
Peggy.
Man, old Steve Rogers talking to animals is just a series MT and I are gonna spin off and do now.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. Someone needs to make a comics strip of just old man Steve Rogers just doing random shit,
trying to slow dance with a rhino, like. It's been a long
you're getting
time.
real horny, aren't you, Peggy? It's a rhino joke because of the horn.
Yeah, I know. I got it. It became funnier when you explained it.
Just in case people don't understand what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Anyway.
Oh my god. Here's another WTF question. And we've talked about this before. Do you think Black Panther Wakanda Forever could take place during the blip? Because that would be one way they could get around Chadwick Boseman's absence. Is there any chance that could be the case? What do you think?
That is a really good question and point, because like I always thought, like, because like at the end of Endgame we have that shot of the city of Wakanda, and it's just like, what happened during those 5 years?
Right.
Because there wasn't a king. So like I feel like that's definitely going to be covered in some degree in the show. I hope that it doesn't take place during the blip, because I do want to see how they take the like a permanent T'Challa death. I think we're gonna see like all the interesting power vacuum type stuff that happened during the blip. But what do you think? Do you think it's going to take place?
Well, I think for the full movie to take place during the blip, it would have to just be a smaller stakes story, because we know what the global stakes are on the other side of the blip, right? We know, we know where, as soon as Hulk snaps everyone back, presumably you're going to have some scene where, the characters who blipped from Wakanda would reanimate, and then you couldn't really do that without having to do this weird VFX stuff with Chadwick Boseman, which I don't think anyone wants to see.
Yeah.
So it would have to be like kind of a smaller side story of just like how the survivors of Wakanda got by, what Okoye was up to, what I believe M'Baku was up to, you know, which could be a fascinating story. I'd rather that be maybe brought up as a subplot in Black Panther Wakanda Forever story that takes place on the other side of the blip. As you said, MT, to kind of move forward from it. But yeah, a prelude comic set during the blip would be interesting.
That'd
I'd
be
watch
super
that.
dope.
Or I'd
I would
read that.
watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch a
I would
Disney
have
Plus
watched
show.
the book and just be like, what is this? I have to open it.
It's like, don't go anywhere, book. I'm watching you.
The book moved. I saw that book move. It's one of those Harry Potter howler things. The books. Oh no, that's a letter, right? Ron Weasley.
Oh, Ron Weasley. Oh my, I gotta rewatch those movies. It's been so long. I love those films.
Careful, not all parts of it age well. The acting of the children is bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember them being better than they were, but
yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, these kids are just amazing actors.
They're getting so good.
This is the peak of acting. Now I'm just like, oh boy.
Now that we've had like Stranger Things and which is like the same cast, like, it's like, oh, child actors can actually be pretty good. Yeah, but
like, they just needed a kid that looked good in glasses. Like, oh, you look like Harry Potter. Like, come on in.
I think they've all been great after the Harry Potter franchise. Like Daniel Radcliffe's work post Harry Potter, pretty good. Emma Watson,
he's a great actor.
Even
like,
Rupert Grint has shown up in some stuff, not bad. But during those movies, big learning curve. Man, I'm gonna get some hate mail for this. To say anything negative about Harry Potter.
We love Harry Potter. It's just sometimes it's just hard to go back, like, to things in general,
hard.
Like especially like video games. Like going back to play. I remember playing Arkham Knight. No, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Going back, it's just like, oh, it's so hard to just, because things progress and people get better, and like that's just how time works. So like, it's hard to watch earlier performances of a lot of people's careers. So
and in fairness to those kids in the Harry Potter movies, their co-stars are the best actors in the world. So if you have like Maggie Smith
Alan Rickman.
You have Alan Rickman, who you're doing a scene with. Yeah, you're gonna get a little overshadowed. But yeah.
Ooh, that ginger kid? I mean, he's no Alan Rickman, but I guess he's all right.
Yeah, for sure. All right, before we move on, one more sponsor we want to thank, our friends at Bespoke Post. So thank you to Bespoke Post for sponsoring this episode. Bespoke Post has a new lineup of essential box of awesome collections for guys, guaranteed to upgrade your life. The Retreat box comes with a cool hammock, and the Boardwalk box comes with some fancy flip-flop sandals to get you ready for some summery adventures. Whether you're out taming the wilderness or taking your home bar to pro-level heights, Bespoke Post only sends guys the best stuff every month, no matter what you're into. Box of Awesome has you covered, from style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, and outdoor gear. Box of Awesome has collections for every part of your life. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right box of awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. The Coast and Flight boxes are the new ones that look really, really cool. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box only costs $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code MARVEL at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code MARVEL for 20% off your first box. All right, one final Wakanda the MT. A lot of people are asking this. Do we think it could be possible that Killmonger could return in Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
That is a really good question, and I keep going back and forth with this one. Because, like, as much as I love Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan killed the role, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But, you know, then T'Challa killed him. So, like, I would love to see more Killmonger in the form of, like, flashbacks. Because, like, he had a really extensive history with, like, you know, being a mercenary. Was it mercenary or an operative?
Yeah, well, he was military, and then he became a mercenary after that.
And like, so like, there's a lot of opportunities, like maybe like doing a flashback with John Walker. Maybe we can see, oh, John had a run-in with Killmonger or something like that. But so like, to bring characters back from the dead, you have to have a really good reason. And I just feel like Killmonger's last words were so powerful.
Agreed.
And it was just his whole, I think we just need to let it go. Because, like, you know, we could always just rewatch Black Panther if we want to see Killmonger, but I don't think that Kevin Feige is going to bring him back. But what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Michael B. Jordan's got all other kinds of projects that he's working
yeah.
on, and I'm excited to see what he does next. He has been one of the best villains of the MCU, so I think we want to see him come back in more ways. But yeah, he is. The way that's been theorized before is that like the Atlanteans with Namor could have found his body if he was buried at sea, and then like they could have resurrected him for like a kind of a strike against Wakanda. But
that would be super
it'd
interesting.
Be insane, but like I don't know why you need to have a Namor or an Atlantis versus Wakanda story and also have Killmonger there. It kind of just feels like a hat on a hat in a way.
I don't. It seems like very uncharacteristic for the Atlanteans to do anyway. Just because like they sort of view themselves as better. Well, like they don't view themselves as better than everyone else, but they're not going to be like, oh, we need this human being to help us win. They're just going to be like, we can just do it ourselves. We don't need this guy. And like, this is just more littering in the ocean that we're pissed about.
Yeah. The harder part about how they're going to strike them is like, I believe Wakanda is an inland country. It does have a body of water connected to it, but it's not like ocean connected,
No.
So like it would have to be Wakanda has like a secondary colony somewhere in Antarctica or something like that, or somewhere else. And then through that exploration, and a lot of people point to Okoye's line about the undersea earthquakes in Endgame, and that could be what that was a reference to, that there's some kind of rivalry between Atlantis and Wakanda there. But that's just one of many little lines in Endgame that we have in our memory bank of like, this could mean this. I don't think the Russos intended it for it to be that. I think they like to play coy and be like, maybe.
I think that like Kevin Feige just loves to put little stuff like that just to like bait us into making ideas so we can be like, that's a good idea.
Put us on the payroll, Feige. We will do all this work for you, and then you give these scripts to your great writers or to us. I've written movie scripts before. I can do
Kevin.
it.
We're right here, Kevin.
Right
here. Come on. It's free. It's free labor. I'm just kidding.
If I had to write a script, I think I'd ask for a meager fee for that, but not crazy.
Please.
I would do it for half whatever you paid Eminem. Those guys. I don't need.
Listen, I just pay me in one of your hats, Kevin. Just give me one of your hats. Maybe pour some cereal in it so I have energy.
Yeah,
but that's all I want.
Well, for all of you joining us today, let us know in the comments below what you want to see from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. What do you think this title means? But that is it for this episode of Inside Marvel. MT and I are going to be back every Friday covering all the biggest Marvel news over these next few weeks as we wait for Loki in early June. And at that point, hold on to your butts. We're going to go hog wild on that show because it is ripe for me and MT.
We are high-key gonna go low-key with you guys.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right. Stay tuned for that. And be sure to follow MT at MasterTainment. Follow me at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. And subscribe to Inside Marvel wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to us here on New Rockstars. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.